Perfect. All right, so welcome everyone again to the Land 1 session. So we are really excited that you are here and that you want to learn more about the Land 1 program. So very soon I will start sharing my slides and we will introduce the person that we have in this Zoom room so that you start becoming familiar with the people here. Also, at any point during the info session, absolutely feel free to raise your hand if you have any questions, or you can absolutely post questions in the chat. We will have time at the end also for questions. If you have specific questions about admissions or about the Land 1 experience, we have Land 1 students here as well. So if you have specific questions for the students, the professors, absolutely there will be time for that. So I will share my screen. Okay. Perfect. All right. Okay. Great. Okay. So can you see my slides? Okay, because I cannot see anyone. So just so that you know, let me know if there's any issues because I cannot see any images. Okay. So, welcome everyone to this Land 1 info session. So we will give you an idea of the structure of the Land 1 program. What do you expect if you enroll in Land 1? What are the expectations? What are the potential benefits? And you will meet a number of people related to the program. So I am Fernanda, so welcome everyone. I'm an assistant professor of teaching in the Faculty of Forestry, and I coordinate the Land 1 program, and I also teach in the program in the Land 1 Integrative Seminar. So you will hear a little bit more about that course during this info session. Lindsay.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lindsay. I'm an assistant professor of teaching with a joint appointment in forestry and LFS, the two faculties that make up Land 1. I teach LFS 150 and NRES 150, which is the scholarly writing and communications course in the Land 1 program. Welcome.
Amazing. Thank you, Lindsay. So you will also meet Jana and Shannon. So Jana, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, thanks, Fernanda. Hi, everyone. My name is Jana. I am one of the academic advisors for the Faculty of Forestry. So I'm here to answer any questions that you have as you make your way through your program for forestry. We answer primarily academics, but if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. And if we don't know the answer, we can forward you to or connect you with the person who does. So welcome to the session. We're glad to see you here.
Thank you, Jana. Shannon?
Hi, everybody. My name is Shannon Blakely, and I'm the Student Transition and Engagement Advisor in the Faculty of Land and Food Systems. So very similar to Jana, I am an academic advisor and her counterpart over in LFS, and I actually specialize in first-year students. So if you have any questions about your course planning, how to get involved, anything regarding that transition into the university, I'm your point of contact. So hopefully you can reach out to me anytime, and I'm happy to help.
Amazing. Thank you, Shannon. We also have two amazing Land 1 students here. So Elliot, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. I'm Elliot. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I completed the Land 1 program this year and loved it. Can't wait to tell you guys more about it.
Amazing. Thank you, Elliot. Peace?
Hi, I'm Peace and Osh. Hi, I'm Peace. I'm an international student from the Philippines. Taking natural resources and planning to major in conservation. Also finished the Land 1 program. Great stuff. We'll talk about it later.
Amazing. Yes, so you will get to know Elliot and Peace more during this info session, and you will hear later about their experience in the program. All right, so let's begin. So what is Land 1? So Land 1 is a first-year option. So it's only for first-year students that are just starting at UBC. And it's offered for forestry and students in land and food systems. So it's only open to these two faculties and not to any other faculty at UBC. So how is Land 1 structured? So basically, students that are accepted into the Land 1 program take 17 credits with the program, and you take those 17 credits with the same students that are part of Lang 1. So just to give you an idea of the content that is covered in Lang 1 and the courses. So in term 1, Lang 1 students would take 3 credits of Bio 121. So this is biology, ecology, and evolution. You would also take 4 credits of Math 180. So this is calculus. And then you will take the Lang 1 integrative seminar. That is a 4-credit class that tries to integrate the content that you see in other classes, as well as discussing real life issues related, to society and to ecology and to the natural world. So this Lang 1 integrative seminar happens in term 1. So it begins in September and it ends in April. So it goes through term 1 and term 2. In term 2, you would take 3 credits of, it will be LFS NRES 150 or Forestry 150. So this is the course that Lindsay teaches, and it's writing and scholarly communications. And you would also take 3 credits of LFS Forestry 101, and that's microeconomics. So this is microeconomics. Most students that take microeconomics would take it in the economics department. Even our forestry students and LFS students take it in the economics department. But for Lang 1 students, we actually take it with our own professors here in forestry and land and food systems. So this means that for your first year, those 17 credits are part of the Lang 1 program, but you still have other classes that you are likely going to take, and you can take those credits outside of the Lang 1 program. So let's say that you have to take chemistry or you have to take physics. You will still, take them outside, and you will sort of experience life outside the Lang 1 program as well. Yes, so you will take your remaining first-year credits according to your degree program. And people from student services like Jana and Shannon do a tremendous, amazing job in sort of helping students register to the courses that they should register. So why should you apply to Lang 1? So Lang 1 has a number of benefits. One of the most important goals of the program was to improve the experience of first-year students in their transition from high school to university. So UBC is a huge university. It's very large, larger than your high schools. So we wanted to create this program that supports the students and sort of helps you, navigate that first year. So one of our most important benefits is the smaller class size. So most of you come, in your high schools probably have class sizes of maybe 20 students, maybe 30 students, maybe 40 students max. But at UBC, first-year classes can be really big. Like you can have classrooms of like 300, 400, 500 students. Just like, I don't mean to scare you, we in forestry offer our class, it's online, it's third year, there's 1,000 students, it's online, but still, it's just so big. So the idea of Lang 1 is that you take these classes that are usually huge, like microeconomics, or classes like biology or math, you take it with us. So that means that you are able to meet your instructors better, and you take it in this smaller classroom environment. Because you can take the remaining credits of your degree outside of Lang 1, you will experience those huge classes. But with us, we have the smaller class size. Also, just in terms of math is the only Lang 1 class that the big lecture, you will experience it with a big lecture, but then we have our own tutorial. So you will have that tutorial only with Lang 1 students. Also, you have the same students, same classroom. So at UBC, all of our classes, like let's say forestry classes or LFS classes, are not necessarily scheduled in our buildings. I teach classes that are forestry, and they are on the opposite side of campus. So you usually see between classes like students running in the university to be able to make it on time to their next class. A huge benefit of Lang 1 is that we have structured everything so that our classes follow one after the other one. So to give you an example, in term 1, you have biology from 9 to 10 a.m. And then you have the integrative seminar from 10 to 11 a.m. So you don't have to move classes, and it's in the same classroom. Like all of our classes are in the same location. So it definitely helps the students. And you also see familiar faces in these classes. We offer more hands-on opportunities. So in Land 1, we have made a big effort to provide more experiential learning opportunities. Usually the first year experience, this is changing a little bit, but usually it tended to be very abstract. Like students, go to class, they take math, they take chemistry, they take economics, but then they really don't have almost any real life hands-on applications. In Land 1, we try to offer more of those opportunities. So to give you an example, we have a 2-day field trip where we go to Malcolm Knapp Research Forest. So that's the photo in the left. Actually, this year we have expanded it and it's going to be a 3-day field trip. So we go to the research forest, but we also incorporate elements from land and food systems. So we tend to go, to farms. In previous years, students have been able, to plant garlic at an organic farm. So it's very hands-on. In addition to the 3-day field trip, there's a bunch of short field trips and volunteering opportunities. So we visit the UBC farm, we visit the Museum of Anthropology. The photos on the right side, we now have a partnership with Cypress Community Garden in Kitsilano, and we volunteer with them twice in the year. This is optional, but the students that attend usually love it. It's an amazing experience to be able to see how a real garden works. Also this year we have developed this partnership with Roots on the Roof. So this is UBC's student run garden that actually produces food, and it's on top of the student building. And what we do with Roots on the Roof, so we do a field trip, so we go and learn about the garden, but we are also starting to volunteer with them. So usually it's run by 1 or 2 people. It's very small. So what we did this year is we took the entire class and we supported them in the maintenance of the garden. Yeah, so a bunch of these experiences that many first-year students are not able to experience. Also, we offer a more integrated education. So the fact that we have students we're 2 faculties, so forestry and land and food systems, you will get to see a lot of the interaction between forestry and food systems. And it's really amazing to realize that both are so connected, and solutions to deforestation, for example, usually lie in changing food systems. So these are very interconnected. Also, we try to integrate the education in terms of the classes. So for example, in my class, in the integrative seminar, we bring a number of topics in term 2 related to economics. Sometimes we also have integrated assignments. So for example, the paper that they write for Lindsay's class could be used for for the infographic that the students do in the integrative seminar. So you see this, integration of education. This integration, believe it or not, at the universities tend to be very disciplinary. So you take classes in one faculty or in another one, and classes do not really connect to each other. So in Land 1, we're really trying to sort of remove those barriers so that we can actually see how the world is interconnected and highly interdisciplinary. Also, we weave indigenous knowledge throughout the curriculum. So I'm not sure if many of you have read Braiding Sweetgrass. So this is an amazing book by indigenous author Robin Wall Kimmerer, and it talks so much about the value of indigenous knowledge and how many indigenous groups around the world have sort of a different worldview on our relationship with the environment. And we use sections of the book and book chapters throughout the year to discuss different topics related to sustainability, food security, food sovereignty, climate change, etc. Another great benefit of Land 1 that is often mentioned by students is the personal connection with instructors. So because we have small classes and instructors, we know each other, and we have the same instructors every year. We really collaborate with each other, and because it's a small class, we tend to be more personable. We know the students, like by now, for instance, I know all the names of the students in Land 1. I've had conversations with many of them. So you really get to know them. So students know you, and you can know the students. That really doesn't happen that much in other classes. Like I have another class of like 200 students. Yes, I really love to develop the connections with the students, but it's impossible to really connect with everyone. Whereas in Land 1, it's way easier to make those connections. And as I said, most instructors really know the students, and also because we collaborate between the instructors. So this is one example of those sort of collaborations. So this is Sam. He was a teaching assistant for our class for the Lang1 program a couple of years ago. And students really get to know Sam, his experience, his research. So this is just a photo when he was presenting about his the work that he's doing at UBC. We also offer a bunch of social activities, usually one activity per month. So these are some photos of those activities. So this on the left is this group of this year. So Elliot is right there. And I don't know if Peace is around. Yes, he's there. Amazing. So this was Halloween that the students celebrated. You can see in the room they are. I think Elliot is now in that room. So this is the Lang1 Lounge. I will talk very soon about what is the Lang1 Lounge. In previous years, sometimes we also offer hikes or activities, you know, outdoor activities. But most of the socials tend to be in the Lang1 Lounge, and we have, you know, different fun activities to build that sense of community. This is a really fun activity. So it's a scavenger hunt. We have done it this year. We did it as well. And it's lots of fun to build community. And yeah, so those are just examples of activities that we have. So the designated Lang1 space is something really, truly amazing of this program. So first years undergraduate students, for a fact, do not have like designated spaces. So graduate students, when they're doing their masters or PhDs, usually have a space for students within a building, but undergraduate students don't really have it. So in Lang1, we are actually so lucky to have a room. It's shared with graduate students and Land and Food Systems, but Lang1 students can just go there. You can have your meals there. We have our socials there. You can go and study. There are like whiteboards on the walls. You can play board games. You can do so many things in the Lang1 space. Students that use the space often love it. And that's one of the hardest things when they finish Lang1, that they cannot access this space anymore because it's only for first year Lang1 students. So yes, so this is something really, really unique about the program. And finally, our huge, big goal with Lang1 is to create a sense of community. So we want to support the students, and we want the students to feel that they belong to a community of friends, a community of professors that really supports them. So although you may not meet everyone or be a super friend with everyone in the cohort, students really find, most students, like they're really, really best friends in this community. I usually see my Lang1 students in my second year courses, and they usually sit together. So it creates this sense of community. So this is the photo from the 2022-2023 cohort, so 2 years ago. And this one is the one that I just posted today. So this just happened last week when we did our final presentation of our Lang1 infographics. Lang1 professors were there as well. So the guy in the middle is Sumit. He's the econ instructor. I'm here. And you have all the students. So we have Elliot, and I don't know where is Peace, but I know he's somewhere in here.
I'm all the way
So
at the back. Oh,
there
Lindsay's
you
also
are.
there.
Amazing. Got it. And
Lindsay's
where's
also on the
Lindsay? I
left.
couldn't find her.
On the left a bit.
Here? Is this one?
No,
Oh,
on
okay.
the one right next to
Here.
that. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. So you see, so it's like professors, students, like it's a really great sense of community. And this is the students that just finished last week. All right. So now you are very lucky to hear from the students themselves and their experiences. So I don't know, Elliot or Peace, who wants to begin?
I mean, Elliot, do you want to go first? Yeah, I think you want to go first.
Okay,
All right,
sure. Yeah, I can go first. Yeah, so I did Lang1 this last year. I initially was interested in the program because I went to a really small high school, and it seemed like something that could really kind of ease my transition into university, which it did, but it also provided just so much cool perspective that I really don't think you get outside of the Lang1 program. First of all, before even starting at UBC, it made course registration really easy since you're automatically registered in all the Lang1 courses. Well, people I know were kind of freaking out about doing course registration on Workday for the first time. I was definitely more relaxed about that. And then so your schedule is pretty much built for you. And yeah, no complaints about that. It's definitely a lot of time in our Land One room in the forestry building. But it's so great to have the kind of cohort of people that you meet right away starting and then carrying over the both semesters. You don't get that in any other kind of class group. All the other classes are just kind of one semester, and you'll have different classes with different people. And then the socials and field trips are super fun, lots of cool volunteer opportunities. And you get to really see, as someone who's not from Vancouver, it was really cool to see what's happening kind of all over Vancouver and what I can get involved with around town. I actually, Fernanda mentioned the Cypress Garden, which we went and volunteered at maybe a couple weeks ago. And I was there today helping out. So it's a super cool way to get involved in lots of different stuff, meet people. Actually, a couple of my roommates that I'm living with next year are all from Land One. We met in, it was our math group, which that's definitely another, Fernanda mentioned the math class is the one where we have the big lecture, but it makes it so much easier with Land One already knowing people, already having the kind of study buddies, and group projects are with people that you already know. So that's really great. And then yeah, the integrative program really lets you see the overlap between LFS and forestry and all these different disciplines. You get to see kind of real world applications of what you're doing in a way that I don't think people in just forestry or LFS get to really see in their first year, which is super unique. For me, it helped me realize that I'm going to be switching to forestry next year. I'll be doing forest sciences. So Land One helped me kind of realize that, but also realize all the overlap and all these different opportunities that I had never thought of before. So yeah, I think that's all I have. Peace, if you want to go for it.
You're moving to forestry? I like
Yeah,
like
I'm
really
also
off
reading
topic.
natural resources with
Like
twins.
at first when I saw Fernanda's messages, I was like, wait, isn't Elliot in forestry? And then no, she's actually from LFS. I was like, all right.
I've been
And then now
incognito in forestry for the last semester, so it'll be official next year.
oh, I see.
Mhm.
Okay, right. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Yes, so back to that. But I super agree with everything that Elliot said. Like just for me, originally I signed up for Land One because to me, both natural ecosystems, like the forests, obviously, and the ocean and everything in between that, and agricultural systems are very important to us, like as humans and as part of the earth. And so what I really wanted to do was really get a solid foundation on both these aspects, despite only being in forestry. Um, that was what I just wanted, like, not, I wasn't really expecting all the social aspects. I was just really going for the academic, because like I'm going to so lock in this year. But Land One really went above and beyond that, with just giving this foundation and this background, and Fernanda and all the Land One profs, no exceptions, make it an effort to make your classes engaging and understandable. Um, you know, I hear all the other forestry and alpha students complain about how annoying and boring their mandatory seminars are. And I'm here and I'm like, what are you talking about? That one is so fun. So, um, but other than that, I totally have to agree with Elliot. I had absolutely no problems with registering for my mandatory classes since, registering for Lamb1 automatically does it for you. So thank you so much. Um, And like a lot of the people I know outside of Land One weren't able to get into the courses that they needed to get into. Um, because like, oh, all the spots were filled already, so they had to go take alternative classes to really fill that in. But I think you can make it what else? Like also even as a commuter, I have made so many friends from the program who are really just serious about the environment, classes, and just life in general. And so really, really fun. And I guess re-echoing again, they have definitely been some of my like key people just going throughout first year. Um, yeah. And despite being in different faculties, like the LFS students and the forestry students, we like share a surprising or unsurprising amount of enthusiasm for animals. It's like and plants, um, fungi too. So it's really cool. It's funny and cool, all at the same time. And it was like a very just like full um filling experience to be a part of the Lambum program, um and the classes that they provided with unique perspectives, um um and yeah, it's overall really great. Do not miss the chance to sign up. I know too many people in LFS and forestry who didn't and missed the deadline um, for registering. And, it's just really sad when you hear those people. So please try and sign up. Like there's no loss in doing so. If you want to back out in the last second, like sure, but like go and register. And if you know anybody else in LFS and forestry, make sure they also know about it because it's really good, and all the experiences so worth it, like super worth it. Yeah, that's all for me.
I can add one more thing. Which, yeah, I totally agree with Peace. It's a really unique opportunity to get kind of a glimpse into LFS and forestry. So do not miss out.
Yeah.
But we also have our lounge, which I'm in right now. Really gonna miss it next year. It's nice to have the kind of guaranteed space. Whether you're a commuter or you live on campus, it's super nice, and kind of getting to hang out with everyone here outside of class has been great. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much to both of you. So we will talk soon about the application process so that everyone knows, how is it, how quick, or how you can do it. All right. So Lindsay, do you want to talk about Land One impact?
I would love to, Fernanda. So one thing we talk about a lot in my class is making claims and backing them up with evidence, as Peace and Elliot can attest. So we're saying all these things about the Land One program, how awesome it is, how amazing it is, but what is the evidence we have for that? We have collected a lot of evidence over the years through surveys, because we want to know, like, is this working? How is it working? How is it impacting our students? So just to walk you through a little bit of that, these results come from surveys gathered over, 8 years, Fernanda? 9 years?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So 92% of students that we've surveyed over the life of the program say that the teaching strategies in Land One helped my academic success. First year is hard, and so this is meaningful and substantial. 92% of students also said I received support from other students in Land One. So again, that really speaks to that community aspect of the program. I became more interested in forestry and LFS issues. So I saw someone in the chat said, LFS, does that equal land and food systems? Yes, it does. So 85% of students said that. One thing I know, especially in LFS, a lot of the first year courses are outside of the faculty, taking chemistry, taking biology. So it can be hard to feel connected to those issues that brought you to these faculties in the first place. So that's another important thing. 92% of students said I had plenty of opportunities to interact with professors in Land 1, which is also really important in first year. I know it looks like we're making up these numbers because so many of them are 92%, but no, we didn't make these up. And 85% of students say Land 1 helped me with the transition to university. There's been quite a few studies done about how first year university is one of the toughest transitions in like your age group's lives. And I would say over the lifespan. So yeah, it's a significant percentage. A few quotes just to highlight from students. One student said, the Land 1 community is so welcoming and I am so happy I was able to be a part of it. I have made some amazing friends that I otherwise never would have met as they are in a different faculty. It definitely helped my transition from high school to university. Another one, our cohort had a great community feel. Our instructors were so engaging and it felt like they were very invested in our learning and engagement.
Thank you, Lindsay. And just like you see in the back of this slide, it says 2020, 2021, it's just because students from that year did the Land 1 logo. So, and I just posted the logo, but these quotes are not from 2020, they are more recent. So thank you, Lindsay. And now Jana and/or Shannon will talk more about the application process.
I can jump in and go quickly. For the application process, again, this is for students who are incoming to forestry and land and food systems specifically. The application deadline is May 15th, 2025, and it does require a separate application. So rather than just applying into UBC, you do need to apply again to Land 1 if you are interested. So make sure that you're marking that on your calendar and getting your application in. The start date would be September 2025. And as Elliot mentioned, we do take some of that course planning stress off of you by registering you directly into your Land 1 courses. So that is a big selling point, I'd say, of this program, in addition to everything else that it is just amazing at. There is no additional tuition fees. Tuition is exactly the same, whether or not you're taking Land 1 courses or other courses that are the same as Land 1. The only additional cost to keep in mind is the 2-day field trip, and that's approximately $300. So overall, a very low cost program that provides such a valuable experience. Jana, do you want to touch on these?
Sure, thanks. So the admission requirements for Land 1 just are related to the 5 courses that you take. So you need to have for grade 12, English 12 or English 12 First Peoples, pre-calculus 12, and one of biology 12, chemistry 12, or physics 12. So for us, we look to see if students have one of biology 11 or biology 12, so that you can take biology 1-1. And then also that you have pre-calculus 12, preferably with a grade of 80% or higher, just because that is the math that is taken with Land 1. If you don't have that 80%, you can contact one of us and we can speak with you about it, but the preference is about 80% or higher in that pre-calc 12. And then these are more general admissions requirements that are also posted here with the grade 11 requirements. For physics, for forestry, it's more biology 11 and not the physics 11. Physics is more if you're looking at doing a major in wood products processing, if you're in the Bachelor of Science in Natural Resources. And then if you are a student coming from a post-secondary transfer, It really depends. Usually Land 1 is more specifically for high school students. So if you do have a post-secondary transfer, if you have 24 credits, then you're seen as a transfer student. Those are credits that transfer directly to UBC. If you have 30 credits or more, then we look at your most recent 30 credits. But you still have to meet the minimum high school requirements. If you're wondering what transfers over, you can use the BC Transfer Guide. Also, students that have IB and AP credits, if you have those, when you accept your offer and send in your final transcript and get the college or the IB or IP place scores sent to us or to UBC, we will then assess them and you'll see them under your transfer credits. As long as you have the required score. And you can look under the website at you.ubc.ca to see what the scores need to be, or you can Google UBC first year credit. Some of you may have IB or AP credits that cover some of those 5 courses. And if so, we do allow one of those courses to be covered with IB or AP, but to maintain that cohort, we do require that you take the other 4 courses with everybody. And you can come and speak to myself or Shannon at any point to ask if you have questions about this or about your IB or AP credits and how they transfer over, or what makes the most sense for Land 1, depending on how many IB or AP credits you do have. Shannon, am I missing anything?
I think you covered it all.
Okay.
Amazing. Thank you so much, both. So if you're planning to apply to the Land 1 program, I think Jana and Shannon do send emails with that, but also if you just Google Land 1 UBC, you'll go to our website and you will be able to find the link. Okay, so we have a video prepared from students. In the past, I'm hoping it works. Do let me know if you cannot hear it, or yes, we'll see. Hopefully this will work.
Fernanda, I think we've lost sound.
The question, is it working, the audio?
The sound was there, but then it cut
Let's
out.
see, wait 1 second.
What I like about Land 1 is that they provide a lot of opportunities to see future careers that we're going to have, like field trips and like volunteer opportunities are very common in Land 1.
It has built my confidence while being here at UBC.
It has also made the transition between high school and university easier.
And of course, the amazing friendships.
I really like Land 1 because of this tight-knit connection within the community is making the transition from high school so much smoother, and all the professors are so caring.
The friendships you make within the classroom are not limited to the classroom. If anything, some of us have planned bonfires and beach outings on our own time over the weekends to help us cope over midterm season.
I think what I love about Land 1 is the community, because I've been hearing about my other friends talking who aren't in LFS and Land 1 especially. They don't really have that many close friends. So even if they find people in lecture, then they don't spend time with them outside of that. But this group, you know everyone, you know 50 people, and even if you're not friends with them, you're seeing them every day, so you get close with them.
I've really been enjoying Land 1 from the support from all the faculty and from all the friends I've made through classes and outside of classes as well.
I really enjoyed the hands-on experiences I got and the field trips.
I like Land 1 because of my friends, especially Josh.
I love the sense of community, and since it's a small class, I get to know everyone better and the teachers better too.
I think Land 1 is a great way to connect with a diverse group of people with similar views on the environment and on life, and I think it's just really fun.
Amazing. amazing. All right. So now, no, let me, I think, okay, perfect. So I think I'm going to just share our last contact. So just go to our website if you want to learn more about the Land 1 program and apply. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to send us an email to land.1@ubc.ca. So now we can leave some time for questions. If you have questions about the community, the courses, the application process, etc. I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I cannot see the chat. Yeah, so let us know if anyone has any questions. I know that there are some questions in the chat that we have been answering, but I wonder if there are still questions that we have not answered. There's a bunch of questions. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's begin answering questions, and I will maybe defer to other people if there are questions that I cannot answer, and feel free to jump in, everyone, if you have anything to add. So I'm going to go through the last. So does a student who is taking calculus in senior year have to take it again in Lang 1, or can they take a different class instead? So Lang 1 has these 17 credits that you have to take with Lang 1, except if you have transfer credits. You are allowed to drop one Land 1 class if you have transfer credits. So if your calculus transfers, you would be able to drop math. Jana, Shannon, Kiara, let me know if you want to add anything.
Yeah, so just typically, it depends on what calculus you have. If you have like IB or AP, that would transfer over. If you took calculus, the equivalent of calculus high school 12, that actually, you would still need to take differential calculus here typically.
Elliot?
Yeah, I can add to that. I took Calc 12, I took Calc 1 and 2 in high school. And I ended up taking, I didn't have transfer credits, so I took Calc with Land 1. It was definitely still hard. But it was really it was good to have the Land 1 group. So I recommend not dropping any Land 1 classes, but definitely if for that calc class it's helpful to be in Land 1.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. So once we have our final high school grades, if admitted to Lang 1, how and when should we submit them? So when you complete the application, we will ask you for grades. If you don't have your final grades, we will ask you for your interim grades, so what you think you have so far. So if you are accepted into Lang 1, you will, Jana and Shannon, will you send emails to those students, or how would that work?
I'm sorry, once they're admitted, then I believe last year we sent the emails, or someone from forestry and someone from LFS sent the emails to students to let them know they were admitted. And then a little bit later, we sent them their schedules. And we also let them know they're admitted and sent them the contracts for them to sign. And then afterwards, sent the registration information, and that registration information and schedules go out, I think, a little later, so closer to beginning of June, end of May, beginning of June.
Yeah, and yes, and like student services, people from student services will contact you so that you can submit your final grades. So eventually we will have your final grades. Yes, but we will ask your interim grade in the application if you don't have the final grade yet.
Can I add on to that really quick?
Yes.
While we take care of the registration for your Land 1 courses, you are still responsible for adding any additional courses to your schedule if you choose to take more. We do see students usually adding anywhere 1 to 2, sometimes 3. With LFS, we have a weird course in there that is usually the third one, on top of their Land 1 courses. So while there are Land 1 courses that do fulfill your degree requirements, there are a couple of others that we would recommend adding to your schedule for the year. So for the LFS side, that would be courses like Chem 121 and Chem 123 and Bio 112 are all pretty important courses to add to your schedule.
Amazing, thank you. So another question, what is the biggest determinant to being accepted to the program? Grades, essay? Yes, all of the above. So grades are important, but the essay is important as well. Like we want, yes, to select the good students, but I think one of the most important things that we want is to select the students that want to be in the program and that we will contribute to their lives, but that they will contribute to the program. Like the program really depends on student engagement, like students being in classes, participating, being, passionate about what they are learning. So I would say definitely if, your grades are not extremely high, still do a good job with the essay, because we will read the essay and we will also make decisions based on that, for sure. Just so that you know, the acceptance rate, it depends. Every year we sometimes have more or less applications, but last year was somewhere around, I think 60 to 70%. So most students that apply to the program do get accepted, a lot of them. So I would say if you feel you may not be accepted, don't select yourself out. Apply because you may be accepted. So yeah. So the question is, I am an international student. Let me know if any of these questions have been answered, please, because I haven't been able to look at the chat. So I'm an international student studying the BC program. We do not have biology in our program, but we do have chemistry and physics. Do I meet the admission requirements of Lang 1? Shannon and Jana, like if anyone does not have the biology.
Sorry, I was looking at one of the other questions to answer it. The question was, do they have the biology?
If they don't have biology.
So it depends on if they're coming from, if they don't have the biology, then there is a biology 111 that they need, but they can always, especially if they're coming from an international school, they can always contact us and we can check just to confirm.
Okay, perfect. If you have any doubts like this one, definitely send us an email because sometimes it depends on your situation. Yeah.
And we can check. It's always best to check with us directly.
Amazing, amazing. What else? There was one question that was sent to me about are Lang 1 classes more difficult or harder? Not really. If anything, not every year, but some of our sections have done better than other sections. And it's because, we have more of that personalized support, that smaller classroom environment. They don't always do better, but in occasions they have. So it's definitely not meant to be more difficult. And it's actually what we try is to do the opposite, that learning is fun, should be fun, and you should, have fun while learning, and that it should not be more difficult. Yeah. So yes, so they ask about the fee for the Malcolm Nap. Yes, there will be a fee just for that trip, and it's somewhere between $250 to $300. This year, the field trip has been expanded to 2 nights, but we have a grant that will cover the extra night. So this year's cohort will be the sort of the lucky group that will have sort of that extra day covered. Let me see. Are there other questions that I haven't answered? Are the Lang 1 courses in addition to the bachelor first year program total credits? So the 17 credits of Lang 1 is for the full year. So students would take 9 credits during term 1, and then the other 8 credits, let's say, during term 2. Okay, so it's for the whole year. Anything else that I'm missing? How many credits do first year students take apart from the Lang 1 courses? So do we want to do probably LFS and forestry? So Shannon, do you want to start with LFS? Like in addition to Lang 1, how many courses would a LFS student take?
In addition to Land 1, we usually see students adding, again, kind of like 1 to 2, and then another course called LFS 100, which only meets once a week for an hour on top of their schedules. So Land 1 students can expect anywhere between 3 to 5 courses a term for LFS. And that's depending on personal preference.
So I would say it's similar for forestry. We have an NRES 103 course that is 1 credit that students can add on top of 1 to 2 courses per term. But it depends on the student. And if we have students that take slightly lighter course loads, especially in first year, it might add a little bit of extra time at the end, but sometimes students do co-ops, exchanges, all these other different things that also might add a little bit of time to take advantage of all the experiences that are available to you while you're at university. I would recommend reaching out and speaking if you to figure out what courses you should prioritize, especially depending for our degrees. If you're in the Bachelor of Science in Natural Resources, which major you're thinking about doing. All of the advisors here in forestry are here to help. As with LFS as well. And so for us, we can help you figure out which ones will help you transition the most smoothly through your degree. If you are taking, because you most likely will have 1 or 2 courses to take later on or in the summer or something like that. So please reach out and we will send information. At least I know for forestry, Shannon, you can speak for LFS. We will send information on registration out again around May, end of May, beginning of June, because registration takes place around mid-end of June for first year students. And that will be for us a registration guide, a Zoom online info session, and we'll also do some drop-in Zoom sessions for you if you want to ask one-on-one questions, and we'll send you the Land 1 schedule as well.
So Elliot and Peace, do you want to share a little bit about how your first year looked like in terms of courses? Because Elliot, you are like still in LFS, and Peace, you are in forestry. So do you want to share?
So yeah, I did my first semester, was the kind of LFS schedule. I took, let's see, feels like a long time ago. I took an elective Spanish class. I took the LFS 100. And I think that was it. It was definitely good to keep it a little more light for like kind of the first semester adjusting. That was my preference. And then second semester, I decided I wanted to switch into forestry. So I took sociology, soil science, and then the NRES 103, which is like a forestry meets 1 hour a week is 1 credit. Yeah.
Amazing, thank you. Peace?
I put this in the chat earlier, but for those who didn't see it, for me taking conservation, in the first semester I took Chem 121 and then Geos 103, which is water and landscapes. And then for the second semester, so the stuff I'm studying for now for my final exam, woo! Sociology 101. And then Jana mentioned this earlier, NRES 103, which is pathways to natural resources, career pathways. And lastly is soil science, which is at by 200 best course. Great stuff. Yeah, great stuff.
And thank you both. So we are almost out of time. There's a question about Jumpstart. So is there like a group, like a Land 1 group in Jumpstart? So Shannon and Jana, do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, I can jump in. So not necessarily for Jumpstart, but for Imagine Day, which is the big traditional orientation day in LFS, all of our Land 1 students are grouped together on that day to get to know each other, go through the day, and get to know campus as well. If we have an orientation leader who has been in the Land 1 program, we also usually try and have them be the orientation leader on that group. So you're really getting a full Land 1 experience on Imagine Day.
Amazing. All right. So I think did we answer all the questions in the chat? I am having trouble following them, but I think I am hoping we didn't miss anything. Yes, we answered everything. Okay, amazing. So thank you so much. We're almost at the hour. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending. If you have any other questions, feel free to send us an email. We are really happy, to troubleshoot all of the questions that you have. First year at university can be very daunting, and registration is one of those. So do let us know if you have any questions about the program. You can send questions directly to the instructors if you want. You can send questions directly to me or to student services or to our Land One email. Yeah, and anyone else wants to add anything? Okay. Amazing. Yes, please go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, if you guys are in, if you're going to be taking Jumpstart, and you're in forestry, hope to see you there. So excited if they assign me, to you guys. So excited. Yeah. Can't wait to see you guys
Amazing.
next year. Yeah.
Thank you, Peace. And we have a last question from Enoch. Enoch, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. I'm Enoch from Rwanda. I keep just asking this question, but you did not reply to it. I wanted to know, like, if there are extra opportunities for students who completed their cohort. How do they stay connected once they graduate from the program? Yeah, how do we stay connected if you are done with the first year? Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll answer a little bit of that, and I think Elliot and Peace can maybe add a little bit, although they just finished. So unfortunately, so far we don't have any future offerings. We are thinking, but that hasn't happened yet, of maybe doing like a 4th year option for Langone students to reconnect again. So there's nothing formal that the university does to keep the students connected. Having said that, because of the connections that the students did in first year, they do tend to keep connected. So I usually see Langone students together, like they are sitting together in the same classes, or you see them, like Elliot is going to leave with like 3 or 4 other Langone students. So, many of the good friends are Langone students. So, but we don't have anything formal, let's say, yet to keep the cohorts together, but it's just that good energy and friendships that developed during the first year. So I don't know if Peace and Elliot want to add anything on how you think you will keep the connections.
Yeah, no, I agree. You definitely, like, over the last year, we've spent a lot of time in the Land One room, bonding, so on field trips, all that. So it's really, by now we have all kinds of different ways to stay connected. Definitely friend groups form. People are already staying in touch to, like, study for finals, and just seeing people around is always nice. And then Land One also introduces you to a lot of different, like, volunteer opportunities, and different opportunities just like in the community, even with like Forestry Undergrad Society or LFS Undergrad Society. There's lots of different ways to stay connected.
Yeah, honestly, we are definitely going to plan that meet up next year with the whole Land One. Yeah, we definitely will. But yeah, as said, most of it will be informal, but definitely staying with those people, because they really are, the people you meet in Land One really are passionate about what they do and what they want to do. So yeah.
We would love a Land Two, though.
Yes, so real.
Yes,
So
okay.
real. So real.
You guys, we're working on it. We're working on it. So hopefully, in a few years we'll have something for upper level Lang One. Amazing. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming to the info session, like students interested in the program. And thank you so much to Peace and Elliot for being here and sharing about their experience, to Jana, Shannon, Kiara as well, and to Lindsay. So thank you, everyone. Do send your questions. Do not hesitate. And yeah, we hope to see many of you in a few months here at UBC. So thank you, everyone. And I'm going to stop the recording. Bye. Thank you.